streams in a long time. Stating very gassy. Jesus Christ. We also have he's something craw, yeah. Count. We also have burp count. Which if I ever burp on stream and you want to add to the burp count, exclamation point burp. Did it for the count. I don't know what I was thinking with that fucking command. Truthfully. These are blasts from the past because such a different life, such a different person. Opening the hype chest. Y'all, level 2 hype train 50% is fucking crazy. Haven't. Fart count sounds good. I don't think I had a fart count. The same as my chicken dance command. Yeah. We did a lot of wild shit. Everyone's getting their hype chests. Anyone who are participated in the hype train, I believe. I used to have a soundboard. I used to have all my my fun hype train stuff. I don't have any of that anymore, fortunately. Well, 5 hype train to all chicken dance. Yeah. Yup. That's right. Peak of COVID was a rough time mentally, I think, for a lot of people. For a lot of people, I think that yeah, that time frame was a bit wild. We were just a bunch of silly goobers, truthfully, though.
Good morning,
Llama.
It's me,
Chat.
Just wanted to say hi.
Miss you too, Slane.
Wish you a great day.
Really
Tell
good
that
to see you in
meeting
here.
Yesterday, and getting a look at you was probably one of the greatest moments of my life. You were so beautiful. You don't know how beautiful you are to me. I mean, just, you're gorgeous. You're precious.
Grammy, thank you so much. I don't have the zoom on that either anymore. I think I took the zoom out when I was doing some no cam streaming last December. Because the zoom would have just gone to a black screen, but I used to have a zoom pop in. I did set up a new raid scene because I lost my old raid scene again with the PC issues, and then Dare Bear raided me. Was it like 4 or 5 days ago now? And I hadn't been raided since whenever. He says hi, Merry Christmas. Hi Gina, Merry Christmas to you too. What are all these little 3D scenes? Did you make them? No, they were made by Gargle TV. I already gave her a shout out, but shout out again to Gargle. He is a phenomenal artist and makes some really cool, very creative 3D art and 2D art. She's an artist all in all. Yeah, Gargle made Mahler's old scenes for his stream too. Good artwork, very good. I did modify this scene though with the with the lights up above here. That was Photoshop. I actually did those on the stream during my first 31 Jolly Days of December, if I recall correctly. And the colors shown for each of the lights were different viewers gave me colors and or patterns to do, which was a lot of fun. Everyone's got a little piece of themselves up in those lights that have not changed in 5 years. Remember the colors when a raid happened? I can show you what a raid looks like now in case we don't get raided. You're curious, I can hit that that raid switch just to show you what that looks like. That's still connected. Is what still connected? The raid scene? Because I lost the original one. Yeah, the raid scene, I lost the original one, so I rebuilt it. Rebuilt a new one just before stream the other day, and then kind of finished it up. Finished it up during stream rather. Probably 2 or 3 days ago. But if you're curious, I can pop it real quick. As a fair warning, I am not being rated if I pop this. This is just an example of what happens when I do get rated now that I rebuilt it. Can we get a 1 in chat if you want to see it, 2 if no and you don't care and you'll just wait until I get rated? Can we get an opinion here? Because it will be disrupted and it will be loud. Okay. All right. Let's say someone decides to raid me. All right, we're hitting it. If you don't, I'll raid you myself and my one viewer. Appreciate that. But no. All right, here we go. That's it. That's the new one. God damn it, Bears. I don't know if you were lurking when I said that it's not an actual raid. But that's what happens now when I get raided. So it's a spiritual successor to the original one. Thank you for the raid, Angry Bears. What's going on, Bears? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, it's a little bit of a spiritual successor to the original raid scene. Yeah, I definitely lost the original one. It might have been a bit loud, and I apologize for anyone who was not expecting it. But I was lurking. But hello, gotcha. Yeah, that was just an example of what the raid looks like. Was not rated. I also haven't done a like just chatting stream in a while. I mean, I haven't streamed in a while. Just got home, so I'm gonna listen for now. Sounds good, Turbo. Thank you so much for swinging in. Hello. Good to see ya. As always. It feels so hot in this room, but thermometer says 74, which is not hot. Super interested in knowing, but it's 06 Chiefs. I'm gonna save some battery life, but good seeing you, brother. Have fun. Thank you so much, Darebear. Go enjoy the rest of the Chiefs game. I'm not sure if that means Chiefs are winning or losing, but whichever team you're rooting for, go team. We love sports ball. Yeah. Feels like 2019 in here. Yeah, Turbo for real. It's been a 2020 day. They're winning for now. All right. Thermostat is set to 69. Of course it is. Molly's swinging the door open and closed to get some air circulation in here. She's helping. Thank you. Huh? Oh no, that's okay. Thank you though. Yeah, sports hoops. Woo. Yeah, I used to. I mean, grew up in Southern California. 74 is like not hot, or wasn't hot to me for a long time. 69 is a base temp. But you said 69 not for any other reason than it keeps the baby warm enough during the winter. Completely valid. Completely valid. Yeah, living in a much colder climate for the past almost 3 years, or 3 years. 74 is hot. And it's funny. All right, there it is. Nice. Where are you now? I am now in Portland. I was living in. I moved from SoCal to Tri Cities, Washington. From Tri Cities, Washington to Eastern Oregon, and then from Eastern Oregon to Portland, Western Oregon now. Been living here for going on a year in Portland. Cool. It's supposed to be. No, it's really it's something else. No worries. Yeah. Um it's the Portland area is really interesting because it's got very Southern California vibes, but there's also trees everywhere, so not really Southern California. But just like the like it's a city, right? So I mean we're in the outskirts, so it's like the outskirts of any other kind of bigger city, but there are also trees. So the burden is now on you to keep Portland weird. That won't take much effort. I don't think I don't think Portland needs help with that. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely won't take much. Won't take much. Get to coast sick. Hell yeah. So pretty I would love to live there. I think we were gonna end up in San Diego once we get out of Idaho. Gotcha. I've only been to San Diego a handful of times. I went a few times as a kid, and then I went in 2016, 2017 ish for a rave, but it was an absolute downpour. And we weren't outside pretty much at all, and it was at night, so it's not weird enough. So many emotes on Twitch now that I don't recognize. Yeah. San Diego's too hot of a climate for me. I'm I'm a colder weather type of person, even though I'm also a baby in the cold. I'm a much bigger baby in the hot. So I'm a peninsula we live in. Yeah. Are y'all still in Michigan? On the Nebula's to-do list for now, Portland. Close enough. From Central Coast weather, dude. Central Coast was, besides the few weeks during the summer that felt like living in the devil's asshole. It was nice. Michigan, best state in the union. You are allowed to have that opinion as someone who is from there. That is completely allowed. I've never been, so uh, I can't speak. I've only been to a handful of states. California, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia. And I have to say, Oregon has probably been the best experience. If we're talking strictly weather, Oregon has definitely been much good to it and a little bad. One bad is is Michigan State University, and the other is Ohio Southwest. That's funny. We need Jolly Llama to visit to Wisconsin. Yeah, I've wanted to visit for obviously a really long time, but it's tough stuff with finances, scheduling, etc. But make all those moves with your fam that you were living with in Cali. So I moved with my family to Tri Cities, Washington, and then I moved on my own to Eastern Oregon. I moved in with Molly, and then we moved together to Portland. The rest of the states I haven't lived in, I've just visited. The rest of the states I listed, I've just visited, but like Florida, Tennessee, Georgia weather, I went during the summer. I couldn't live there. There's a 0% chance I could make it through a summer season living there. I don't feel like walking outside and feeling like I'm underwater constantly. The humidity is just absurd. Except you haven't visited Michigan, or if you have, you're in trouble. I don't know. If I visited Michigan, I would 100% have hit you up. I have not visited Michigan either. That is also on the list. Michigan, Wisconsin. I want to visit Colorado at some point. North Carolina, the humidity blew my mind. Yeah, when the very first time I was in the east, was on the East Coast, as an adult. I went when I was like 2 years old, but obviously don't remember anything about it. I got off the plane in, I think it was Jacksonville, Florida, and I stepped out of the airport, and it was just like somebody slapped me in the face with a wet rag. Come in April or May or September, October if you do. Okay. I will keep that in mind. I if there's a lot of humidity and it's hot, nah. Or if it's extremely cold and also humid. That was something I just experienced for the first time in when we moved to Portland. It was like what, 80% humidity or something? It was really high humidity, but it was also cold, and it was just like it hurt the bones. Jacksonville mentioned. Yeah. I flew into Jacksonville airport the first time I visited Florida. Hit me in the face with a wet rag when I stepped outside the airport. Born there. Hey, nice. I feel like I knew that at some point. You don't understand cold that hurts your bones. I'm pretty sure. I mean, so we were getting. I mean, when we were here, it was when we moved here. It was must have been what, like. I mean, it wasn't like negative, right? But it was. It must have been close to freezing temperatures, and then also high humidity. But Eastern Oregon, where I lived, it snowed a decent bit, so it was definitely cold. I don't know if it was if it ever got to the absurd or obscene negative temperatures that some places see, but yeah. I had never experienced like freezing temperatures while it was also extremely humid. That it just like was shocking how cold it was. Because Eastern Oregon, while it did snow, it never really got super humid. I'll go in the winter if is heaven Old. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good not being there. It was a capitalized L. I got you. I got you. Such a weird thing that your capital L is not working. That is I've that's got to be like a an operating system thing, right? Like can't be your keyboard. There's no shot it's your keyboard. The L is still working and the shift key is working. So fucking weird. Caps lock doesn't fix it. Yeah, that's weird. Boise can get pretty cold, but it's kind of hit or miss. Warmer so far this year, so no snow yet. Bit of frost. Gotcha. And we've had a couple of nights of a little bit of frost. Taking the dogs out late at night, or I guess early morning. Um, there's been some frost, but I don't remember what the weather was like in Boise when I was out there. So I went out there. We went out there to go see Yellow Card, but then I also was out in Boise for a brief stint, flying out of the airport to go to SoCal. I think that was already last July, 2023. I think that's when that was. Following your situation now was a wish for both of us, really. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Life's been crazy the past past few years, but I'm in a pretty okay place now. Like all things considered, pretty solid place. Absolutely, absolutely. Love the chaos it has brought. Yeah, it's tough to. I mean, it's tough to predict the future, especially during like the like peak of COVID. It was so difficult to think about the future and what the future could hold at that time. Like it was there was no there were moments that like didn't feel like there was going to be a future, right? So definitely near impossible to predict. We're bringing that back alive. The burp command. 0 to 10 would not recommend. Yeah, but you know that time frame for as bad as much negative as it brought, there's a lot of positive too. Like in a weird way, it brought people together that wouldn't have otherwise gotten together. Um, it let people pursue passions and dreams and like as long as it didn't involve like socializing in person or being around people in person. Like there were a lot of people that like dove into their like artistic desires, and a lot of people picked up streaming and fell in love with it. And um there was a decent bit of positive. We wouldn't have met. Yeah. Yeah. Stronger today having gone through it, although some issues were highlighted because of it. Overall, we are better for it. Absolutely. Download the dating apps coming out of the COVID restrictions. Gotcha. I feel like we probably talked about that and I just forgot. But yeah, definitely how a lot of my internet contacts were fostered. I'd say 2018, 2020 is a weird blur in my book. I hear ya. Hell, Daddy fixed it. Let's go. Got that capital L back. Yeah, it's funny because I had started meeting some folks on Twitch in like 2018. Um, Bears, Twin Slug, Tig Newtons, um, other folks as well. But I feel like 2020 rolled around and like those relationships really like grew a lot. I think it was really important to have internet friendships at that time, for those of us that maybe didn't have roommates or weren't living with people that you could like hang out with. So IQ had something set to my LQ. Thanks, IQ. Found Twitch because I was stuck at home, and now all these years later, my life is so full and so much better because of the people I met here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good from it, I wouldn't trade. 100%. 100%. So deep in VP nonsense during COVID, it didn't change much for me at the time. I weirdly enough feel like I'm experiencing a delayed personal vision of it now, especially with the state of the games industry, 3D work in general. Streaming, did VP like stay fully open during the peak of COVID? I feel like we didn't talk too much through that time period. Were y'all still like having to go into the office and everything, or did y'all start working from home at that time? Because I remember asking, because I lived like an hour, hour and a half away from VP when I worked there. Um, I remember asking if there was any possibility of me working from home, and I was very quickly and bluntly and sharply shut down. Um, so that was before COVID. That was just me wondering if there was any way to make my work life balance easier because I was commuting for an hour and a half. I was there from 9 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. and then I would go home at like I wouldn't get home till like midnight. Went home for a relatively short period of time. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I understand why I was shut down on that request too, though, considering like the sensitive topics that the company like worked on. I get it, but also it was a tough time for me because it was not only they're just assholes. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Gotcha. I thought I considered it was probably because of the topics of what was being worked on there, but um, yeah, yeah, because I was like my day to day life was either commuting to or being at that office. They're essential employees. They obviously knew that was something we need. States. Rogan says a lot of things. Um, Granted, I stayed at VP a lot after hours to I stayed at VP a lot after hours. On my own volition, I was streaming from the office. I am grateful that they let me do that. If it wasn't for that time period, I wouldn't have hit affiliate, or I probably wouldn't have for another few years. But managing a warehouse, so literally couldn't do my job remote. Uh, I do you, Mahler, do you know, was that like during COVID podcast for essential employees, did that affect how people, like how podcast hosts and employees working on podcasts were like paid and taxes, and like was that part of the effect, or was it just kind of like a societal essential employee? Managing a warehouse, I literally couldn't do my job remote. I will say I feel nostalgic for highway driving in early COVID. You know, I'm trying to think if I did much of any driving during that time frame. I don't think I did. Like I did occasionally, once in a great while, and it was fucking empty. Under my desk, don't ask. Ooh. Don't want to get too deep on VP Doc. There was some positives for the whole thing for sure. No worries. Sounds good.